Today's Savage Race is brought to you by Battle Bars. It's time to snack better. Fuel your fight with Battle Bars. Zero FG Energy Drink. Save your energy. We've got plenty. Up for Probiotics. Maximum daily digestive, immune, and overall health support to suit your individual lifestyle. And by Hoist. It's more than a drink. It's IV level hydration equipment that's water fighter tested and battlefield approved.
Gentlemen, are you ready?
All right, Bracken. We are ready to get going.
We're here. Shawn Roberts, Nick Ryker, Jared Flank, Jordan McDougal.
Ryan
it's the best
Kempson.
of the best.
Ryan
Kempson.
Brizzalara.
Brizzalara. The best of the best are all at the starting line and now moving up the first climb of the course in the final stop of the Savage Race Championship Series. This is what we're here for.
And so you saw him go right up a hill and right back down. The first Savage of the year with like any kind of elevation, right?
One up, one partial down. Ryan Kempson is in the lead. Nick Ryker's getting out hot on his back. And you're right, this is the first Savage and only Savage where we are going to see legitimate climbs and descents.
Who does that favor today?
Well, right away, it's not favoring Alvaro. He is probably in 7th place going over this wall here, which is a position we've not seen him in the first mile of any race yet this year. He likes to get out and lead from the front.
Whoa. Look at that old school shower there, though.
Brizzalara up in 2nd now, it appears. Kempson's still leading.
Is that Newell?
Newell with a big leap into that pond. Nick's back to 5th now. Looks like the hot start is starting to catch up to him. But Shawn Roberts has not stopped shadowing Ryan Kempson yet today.
Is Nick regretting his choices right now?
Yeah, of course. Anytime you are in the lead and suddenly you're off the lead, you regret that. Shawn with the first pass of the day on Kempson. Now we've hit the only flat section of the course. Last year we saw this towards the end of the race, if you recall. This year we're getting a little earlier, and Kempson now has one mission in life, which is do not allow himself to bleed out against Shawn Roberts on this flat running section.
But he's in control here. He's not, quote unquote, he's not worried.
I would be. I think you're always worried with a guy like Shawn Roberts when you get to his strength, because he's gotten better at mitigating other people's strengths. But this is, without a doubt, the strength area for him of the course, which is good terrain running.
Shawn Roberts and Ryan Kempson.
First place Mel, Shawn Roberts. Second place Ryan.
Well, Shawn looks like he knows what he has to do today. He had to shadow Kempson, get through some of Kempson's areas, and now push the gas on his. And he's doing that very well. But this walk across here is going to lose some time because Kempson's going to run right across.
Look at that. You were called that. Look at that.
And that's the difference in Kempson seeing that obstacle 15 times in his life, and Shawn's getting comfortable on these type of obstacles.
I like that look back. Nope, there's nobody behind you guys.
No, they have separated. They are well free and clear. It's a 2-man race for potentially the title. Because Kempson's in control of this point series right now, but we know how Savage goes. You get hung up on one rig. Shawn wins this. Kempson gets passed by a guy or two. Suddenly he loses the title. But he is hanging in touch. The line's getting stretched a little farther out, but it's not snapping yet. He still has contact with Shawn.
Well, we still don't know if we're in the Shawn Roberts era yet. He's had some fits and starts, right? We'd like to see him put together some consistency.
Yeah, the era. I mean, if we look back 20 years from now, I'd say this is the start of his era, but we are not in like the middle of that era yet. I just see so many parallels to young Ryan Woods with Shawn.
Really?
Yeah, they come in with running that is head and shoulders above the rest of the field, and they haven't been able to weaponize it yet because they haven't been able to put all their energy towards the run. They're still having to put energy into the obstacles and avoid messing up on them.
Yeah, so he lost a couple seconds on that one, but he's like, yeah, Kempson, I'm going to just jump right back in front.
Yeah, and it's a statement every time, but it's also, and there goes the hat. Hat off, grip it, about to get cold and wet here. Can't lose the hat in the water.
Yeah, I think I was more thinking about this new era, right? Him, Hawk, Ryland, like that era of athlete. They've all got to. We still need to see them stick around a little bit before we can call it that.
Yeah, and what we've seen in the past is when this happens, the old guard doesn't leave. Like, it certainly was Woodsy's era, but he never once dominated like an entire year from race 1 all the way through to winning the world championship. It wasn't because of him, it was because the old guard was still just as good. He just brought new life and some wins to the series. And that's what Shawn's doing right now. He's had some wins, but he hasn't taken it pillar to post yet.
Maybe we got a chance to see who's coming up behind here. Is that Jordan?
Let's see. Yeah, that's a McDougal there. Followed closely by Newell, who's just going to obstacle himself into this race over and over and over.
Exactly.
Quite a gap, though.
How's Shawn's climbing?
Shawn's climbing is very good. Now, we haven't seen him in extended climbs yet. The last time we saw him on a course with real extended climbs was Montana. I believe he went off course, his shoe broke. I think he eventually cramped, so that was probably a year and a half ago. So we really don't have current data on what his uphill game is like. Nick made quick work of that.
Nice job.
Briz right on his shoulder.
I'm liking those. I'm liking those trunks.
Oh yeah.
Go, baby.
The noob sanity bottoms. And there's Alvaro.
Now, why did Alvaro find himself so far back? That first hill just took him out of it?
We haven't yet seen him put on a dominant hill performance. He got out really hot last year in the 3K in Canada at OCR Worlds and then faded. And other than that, we haven't even seen him open up on hills. So I don't know if he was cautious intentionally or if his flat grounds haven't yet moved up to the uphills, or if it's a case of he might have been near the lead at the top, but the downhill isn't in his wheelhouse yet. Because at the end of the day, he's a Florida guy. And his opportunity to run up and learn how to descend is just really limited for where he lives.
Oh, there's old Ken.
Ken's never out of it, is he? Always racing in his on shoes. I like it.
Coming up to yank my chain, it looks like.
Kempson back again at the bottom of the mountain in first. But Shawn
Great job, guys.
Shawn kept in contact with him now on that descent.
And again, just look at the quickness, look at the difference in technique and just experience.
Yeah,
Although actually he did it at the same time.
Yeah,
thought
two
Kempson
different
looked-
techniques, same exact time, which is kind
I
of cool.
thought Kempson looked a lot smoother. I guess I was wrong.
Have we yet seen a racer outside of Shawn racing a hat on the men's side?
You know, I was gonna say this is definitely this screams to me young college kid. You know, just like I party in the hat, I run in the hat. I know he's a few years out of college, but you know what I'm saying.
I've been reduced to racing in one to keep the sun off my hairless head, but he's
You don't look this good though. I'm sorry.
no,
Audience.
I'm not that good. I'm not that fast, and he has real hair on his head. I believe Andy Doobie ran a mountain race with a visor, a hat on, but outside of that,
Oh, look at
oh,
that!
I love it. He did it last time too. He is showing those advancements and obstacles. This is where we saw him last year for the first time. Was on this course, and he was getting through obstacles, and now he's starting to advance on obstacles. That was faster than Kempson. Probably on maybe the first time today where Kempson lost time on an actual obstacle. Kempson's head is his sign of fatigue.
His head.
Yeah, when that thing starts to drop, he's hurting. The cool thing about Kempson, though, is that unlike a lot of people where their form starts to change and they slow, he keeps accelerating. He made a pass on Shawn at the top of that hill. Despite having that fatigued head bob going, he's letting him know that there is no way I'm just going to allow you to take it. Look at that. Shawn was faster.
We're a couple miles into this. We haven't seen a 1-2 fight like this, have we, in Savage all year? This close? This late in the race?
No, we have not.
Well, I think that's what's great about this point series, right? Bringing out the best of the best.
Let's go, Shawn.
It's absolutely what it is, and they have a deeper men's field than we've had in years here at every single race so far. But this one has all the major players in it. One name notably missing this year, Matt, and that's Yuri Force.
Yeah, we saw him. I feel like we only saw him once this year, and not on the series at all, right? Am I correct?
Did we even see him?
Yeah, I don't know why he didn't make Georgia this year, if we didn't. So have you seen this rig?
It's a beautiful rig.
The end of this thing is really beautiful. There's a bar that you've got to go out and back up, which we haven't seen, I don't think, yet.
I like that. And this is the first time we've seen any serious gapping amongst these two. And I don't think it's coincidence that it's the most technical obstacle we've hit yet. And Shawn did a great job on it. Just that Kempson was a little faster through it. Jordan McDougal coming through in third. That is not an obstacle he would have made 2 years ago. He's another guy with tremendous running background and has taken his time and his lumps to become an obstacle racer.
That's Newell in fourth.
Newell in fourth. He always seems to be in the mix, doesn't he?
Well, he doesn't seem to be like running very hard, though. Whoa. Who is that? Is that Nick?
That was a Ryker with a
Is that out of control, Nick?
Yeah, that was out of control. He got to that bar first and had to spend his first 5 swings not falling off. And this is a depressing one, Matt. When you are being pulled away from, this obstacle here shows you that. Because you see them get up and run and realize, oh, it's going to take me a while to get out of this water. And that's just free running ahead of me right now. It's just not an obstacle you want to see come up when you're starting to lose contact.
I think he's in the lead. I think he overtook him. I'm not sure where.
That looked like Kempson up in first.
That's what I'm saying. Kempson overtook.
Sorry, for Shawn.
Right, because we're going to come through here and we're going to get to the final gauntlet, I believe. We got the final gauntlet of
pedal for the medal,
and then the straight rings. I forget what that's called.
And this is a tiring one late. You're not gaining any ground. You're completing your obstacle. You're completing the task, but you're not going anywhere. And it plays with your head. I just need to get this done. So he's got his series on the line. He just really, really doesn't want to be flat on his back at this moment. But huge in and out of the obstacle before Shawn arrives. Being an obstacle ahead is such a big confidence boost. Because that means you can fall off a rig now. As long as you don't blow your grip out. Ryan has a retry in him now without losing his lead.
He is not getting the what do you call it?
No, momentum. He's a little far back from it. His legs are catching.
Oh, and look at this. And look at this. Look, what did you tell me? What did you say? Aaron's going to just obstacle his way back into this.
Yeah, he's always around. And when he's around, then he starts taking obstacle chunks in the second half. Jordan's not out of it either. Although you notice his wheel stops spinning a time or two, just like Shawn's, and Aaron's is moving the whole time. Aaron's not out of this thing. Kempson's probably safe at this point because we haven't seen him hung up on obstacles, but Shawn needs to go perfect from here on out, because we've seen Aaron close over and over and over again on athletes.
Right. But we've got, I'm sorry, I'm forgetting the name of this. Oh, it's Anchors Away. I said rings. My bad. We have seen people get hung up on this, though.
Yeah.
And hung up in the end when it's time to put them away. Put away the old ringaroos.
And it's the end of the race, but he's still taking care of his little pieces that have to be done correctly. The paperwork. He's swinging to the far side of the anchor, which is key on this. He's not just taking the first available route. He made it through with no hiccups. It's just taking care of business. It's how you don't lose a lead right here.
The paperwork. I don't believe we've heard that one yet from you.
Yeah, the clerical work, the little busy work that you've got to do correctly in order to get the big job done. Anchors Away isn't just about momentum and grip and athleticism. There are little technical pieces that in order to avoid slipping up, you got to get right. And he got it right. And that should be it.
There you go. Nice little joggity jog in for the finish.
Yeah, and the race might not be over because last year on the women's side, we saw Lindsay Webster, who's arguably the greatest OCR racer of all time, get stuck on a rig here at the end for, 15 minutes, Matt?
I think she DNF'd, right?
Yeah, she finally just walked off the course.
Ultimately DNF'd, yeah.
Which means no one's safe, but Shawn now is. Barring an Amelia Boone dismount, he's good. Oh, and you see someone sprinting into third back there.
I couldn't tell if that was Aaron or McDougal.
That gap really closed. Who do we have coming in here? I hope that camera spins.
It looks like Aaron in front and McDougal about to start the obstacle. Oh, no, wait. There's somebody way up there.
Right, and who is that in third that we missed? That's McDougal. There goes Aaron. Oh, maybe. Now I'm second guessing here, Matt, but that's clearly Aaron. You're right on that. Oh, so that was Shawn. We were seeing a replay there.
Yeah, it's a little trick of the eye.
Aaron steals third place. McDougal is going to be coming up in fourth shortly behind, assuming he got through Anchors Away.
It was like a Tenet situation.
Jordan McDougal in fourth.
Aaron went through the other door. He went back in time. Oh, look at this battle.
Ryker and Brizolara sprinting in. And we've talked about the dog.
Oh, did you see that?
Briz is a great athlete, but Nick doesn't lose these battles at the end. Even with another hiccup, he committed to the jump.
Nice job, Nick.
That's a battle, though.
Oh, Briz even gets his own sweet graphic. Look at that.
There's no weakness in that top six there. And James Zeuch coming in seventh. We didn't get him on cam at all.
James used to be podium every time, and then the field got really deep.
Yeah, and with that, you can't help but wonder what happened during COVID. Did he train through? Was it disjointed? Is it simply the field?
Great question. I should ask him those. I should get him on the old Air Force Ken. There he is.
In Air Force Ken, I believe last year, he had a sprint to victory against VJ Jones here on this course. Is that accurate?
I believe so. Or 2 years ago. Maybe
2 years, was it?
Maybe it was, yeah, I can't remember. There's Alvaro. Rounding out the top 10. All righty. Back here with you, showing you the top 10 here as we got them on the video. I'm going to start that over. That was horrible.
All righty.
All right, so here is how they finished. What are your first thoughts looking at it like this in black and white or blue and orange?
Well, the time gap between Ryan and Shawn doesn't tell the story of the race, does it? Yeah, that was not a 50-second gap for the majority of the race. It was back and forth. I bet the lead changed 5 or 6 times. And it looks like the real battle was between Shawn and Aaron and Jordan. But in reality, it was Ryan and Shawn from the jump all day long.
I got to say, Aaron never looked like he was working that hard. Like I said, he'd get off the obstacles, he'd slow jog. It looked like he was slow jogging, or is that just how he recovers?
I mean, that's what a mini mountain will do to you. It looks like it's not as big, and you work it hard, and then you're just exhausted the whole time.
All right, and so let's see where this puts them on the year. We've got some sweet graphics here. Brought to you by the Shiz.
Shiz never disappoints.
He does not.
Craziest part, though, was seeing Alvaro in 10th place. He's made the jump this year into pretty much always top 3 or 4, and this is the first hiccup we've seen from him.
Yeah, and as we're about to see here, it cost him, and it put him right off the podium for the series.
Yeah, you want that last one to be your best one, and instead, he had to count this one, and it hurt him.
Yeah, and I think the rest, if you said at the beginning of the year, what do you think the top 10 is going to look like? Probably this, right? Ish?
This in some order, yeah. Derek Pavani, I wouldn't have predicted. So I think Derek certainly outkicked my coverage I had placed upon him. But the rest, and Matthew Gill maybe. I thought Jared, after his hot start, would have been pushing for that top 5 position. But the rest is the usual suspects.
Right.
I think I'm going to give a shout out to Aaron Newell. Not that that man needs any extra love, but he's coming off of surgery. And I know it was a while ago now, but this is the first full series he's put in since surgery. And that, as someone who's gone through surgeries, I understand how difficult that can be to get back. And he has just thrown himself right back into it. And I like to see him get some success for that, some reward.